Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making our 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoff predictions. The field was set last night at Daytona. So there you see your 16 on the left side. And I already have my picks lined up round by round. I will unveil them and explain my eliminations as we go. So the first round is Darlington, Gateway, and Bristol. And I'm just not going to waste any time with this. I'll unveil my round of 12 picks and who I have eliminated. So I have Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Blaney, Bell, SVG, Elliott, Briscoe, Chastain, Logano, Reddick, and Bowman moving on to the round of 12, which means I have Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, Austin Cindric, and Bubba Wallace getting out in this first round. For Austin Dillon, good to see him win clean this time around and actually make the postseason. But I mean, just looking at the stats, at least from the last few races at these tracks, Austin Dillon hasn't been particularly great at Darlington. I mean, obviously, we remember 2020 when he almost won that race. But then his last finish at Bristol was 10th, and he's run decently at Gateway, but I don't think the 3 is a serious round of 12 team, unfortunately. But it was still great to see him move on to the postseason. Looking at Bubba Wallace's numbers, they haven't been particularly great at these 3 tracks either. Just looking here. His recent finishes are 21st at Darlington, 21st at Gateway, and 19th at Bristol. So, I mean, looking at those numbers, I don't think the 23 stands a chance, but I'm not going to rule him out. It's just compared to all the stats I gathered for everybody else, they don't look considerably great. I mean, I know I have SVG, but I'll explain my reasoning why I have him moving on here soon. Josh Berry and Austin Cindric, I think, are the 2 that you can maybe make a case for that could move on. The reason I have Cindric getting out is because Darlington and Bristol haven't been particularly great to him. I think his best shot at maybe getting out of this round is Gateway. He did win there last year, but I don't see him backing up that win. But I'm sure he'll run good. I mean, he might be a better chance than SVG moving in this round, so might be controversial putting the 88 over him, but I think SVG will sneak in over Cindric. And then Josh Berry is another one. I think you can make a case for him, SVG or Cindric, like I said. But Josh Berry has actually run pretty decently at these tracks. He finished 12th at Bristol twice in his 3 cup races there, I believe. 36th at Gateway and 36th at Darlington. I think he finished around the top 10, top 15 last year in one of the Darlington races with Stuart Haas. But I don't see Josh Berry getting out of this round. I haven't really seen anything that makes me believe Josh Berry goes any further than the round of 16. It's cool to see him win that Vegas race, but he's kind of cooled down the last few months, aside from that top 10 at Richmond before the Daytona race. So, yeah, the 21, the 2, the 3, and the 23 I have out. And you may be wondering, well, why do I have SVG moving over some of these guys like Bubba, Cindric, Berry? I'll tell you why. SVG is getting better on the ovals. He's been running top 15, top 20. Did it at Richmond. Daytona, he's been doing a pretty decent job at adjusting to these ovals. And all you got to do in the round of 16 is keep yourself nice, cool, calm, collected. Don't be getting into anybody's mess. And I think SVG is capable enough to, avoid all the chaos, let his competitors make the mistakes, and he sneaks on through. Plus, he has 4 wins. All those points, I think, will help the 88 move on to the second round if he can avoid the chaos. So, an interesting set of eliminations here. But, yeah, there we go. So, there's your round of 12. And the tracks here, New Hampshire, Kansas, and the Charlotte Roval. So here are my round of 8 picks. I have Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Blaney, Bell, SVG, Briscoe, and Tyler Reddick going into the round of 8. So that means I am eliminating Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, and Alex Bowman. I guess we'll start with Ross Chastain. I mean, kind of similar to Bubba in the last round. Comparing Ross's stats to everybody else here, not very good. He kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. I will give Ross this though. He did win this the Kansas playoff race last year. That could be his ticket into the round of 8. But I don't see the one going any further than here because the Roval's not been very good to him, and New Hampshire's not been very good to Ross either. Joey Logano. I mean, I guess I could use the good old saying of odd number year because, that's kind of a thing with Joey Logano playoff runs. He makes it to the Final Four in even number years. And then in the odd number years, it's either a round of 12, round of 8, or heck, even a round of 16 exit. Yeah, Logano, he's finished 32nd at New Hampshire, 9th at Kansas, and 8th at the Roval. I mean, Kansas and the Roval aren't too bad. I think New Hampshire, he had a DNF. That's probably why. But I don't like the 22's odds stacked up against everybody else. And let's see. We also have Elliott. Actually, I'll explain Bowman first because I think the Bowman thing can maybe be expected more than Elliott. So Bowman's numbers: New Hampshire, he finished 36th in the last race there. 5th at Kansas, which is pretty good. And the Roval, I don't remember where he finished before the DQ, but Bowman's actually been really good at the Roval. But I don't think the 48's going to survive this round. Like, against Byron and Larson, they're going to be up there. Hamlin, SVG's probably going to be a contender at the Roval, so it's hard for me to say where I have Bowman going in to all this. So I unfortunately have Bowman as one of the 4 out here in this one. And Chase Elliott, which may be a shock. I was actually thinking I'd have Elliott go into the round of 8. But looking at his numbers, I don't know. Even though he is Mr. Consistency after all. So it was 18th at New Hampshire, 15th at Kansas, and 5th at the Roval. We know Chase Elliott's a good road course racer. Still, sort of. Hasn't been winning a whole lot, but still at the top of his game. Personally, for me, when I was making this bracket, I was looking at either Elliott or Reddick to bump out in this round. But when I looked at Reddick's numbers compared to Elliott's, I definitely feel more confident with Reddick than I do with Elliott. Because Reddick's numbers: 6th at New Hampshire, 17th at Kansas, which he's won there before, and he's finished 6th at the Roval in their last run there. And Reddick's also a pretty good road course racer. He's won, 3 races in the next gen on these types of tracks? I know Elliott beats him in 2 of those tracks, but I like Reddick's odds even though he's been a little off this year compared to Elliott's. But I mean, you could really swap out the 9 and the 45, and I wouldn't really argue with you on that because I mean, both I would say can make the round of 8. And again, I'll explain why I have SVG in the round of 8 because why not just bump SVG over Elliott? Well, Charlotte is the cutoff race. SVG is won on all but one road course this year. So obviously SVG is probably the favorite to win, and he probably will. You could probably clip that, and he's probably going to be eliminated either the round before or this one because he doesn't win. But still, I expect SVG to be up there, maybe win the race because he's done it on all but one other road course this year. So that's why I have SVG moving on, and as far as he is. The round of 8, we have Las Vegas, Talladega, and Martinsville. And this will be my championship for Kyle Larson, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Christopher Bell. I have a Hendrick versus Gibbs Final Four. Shocker. Because I'm leaving a Penske car out of this, believe it or not. And I know the Penske fans are going to attack me. But hear me out. So SVG, I think we can all agree, even if he gets this far, he's not making it out of the round of 8. His best shot's probably Talladega, but I mean, Talladega's Talladega. Anything can happen there. Chase Briscoe. None of these tracks really strike me as a Briscoe kind of track. And then Tyler Reddick. I mean, he struggles at Martinsville. His best shot would probably be Las Vegas, which I think he came close to winning last year when he was dueling with Larson for the win. But comparing Reddick to these four, I think the 45 doesn't stand a chance here. They've kind of fallen off a cliff compared to where they were last year at this point. And then Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, I think, is usually pretty good at Vegas. I think he had a pretty good car until he got wrecked last year in this race. Pushed his teammate Logano to the win. Obviously, we know Blaney's a good super speedway racer. Just won at Daytona. But can't count on winning every plate race. And then last 2 years at Martinsville, when it matters most, Blaney wins. This year, I don't see it. This year, I think either the 20 or the 11 maybe win, because Denny Hamlin's been really good at Martinsville. Won there earlier this season. Christopher Bell's won there before too. Wouldn't be shocked if any of the Hendrick guys do either, but yeah, shocked that I don't have Ryan Blaney going into the Final Four. Good chance he probably does. I wouldn't be surprised, because you know Penske always puts the boosters on when they matter the most. But I just don't see the 12 going that far. I think he'll be knocked out by these four here. So that brings me to the Final Four. Who do I think is going to win the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship? Well, I'm going to go based on what have you done for me lately at Phoenix. And the driver that strikes me the most as that is Christopher Bell. Because I have Christopher Bell winning the championship. Because Christopher Bell, since the new Camry, I mean, yeah, there's been a few other races before the new Camry, but he won the first race at Phoenix last year, the spring race, dominated, and then earlier this year he picked up his third win in a row at Phoenix. Do I think Bell wins? Maybe. Good chance he does. Always does really good here at Phoenix. But I think based on recency at Phoenix, Christopher Bell of these four definitely strikes me as the one that'll get it done in the desert. So there you have it, folks. I know it was a quick little video here, but here are my 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoff predictions. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, have a good rest of your day, everybody.